It was delightful. I would agree. And I think that that's one of the sort of main preoccupations of translation, is to be able to get that essence across to a reader who is not familiar with that kind of wit or that kind of that sense of humor or that sort of turn of phrase. And Musharraf, it's also one of those things, because Bilal mentioned the exposition, which is a very sort of, I think, a common trope in literatures of this side of the world, where you have this narrator who very consciously sets out and to tell you a story and sort of establish that this may or may not have happened, but in this situation many years ago, X, Y, and Z. So how do you find how does it work to translate a kind of literary device like that into a language like English, which has its own kind of really set ways of telling stories?
I think the method of telling stories has not changed greatly. For example, I'll give you the example of many of these modern Hollywood movies where you show a character with a still and say record scratch. How do I get here? How did I get here? I started. So it's again the same, that I'm the character and I'm at point A or point B, and let me take you back to point A, and then let's move forward to point F. So the method, how interesting a story is, that keeps the reader's interest. No matter what tricks I do to make a boring story, interesting by going back and forth or putting a frame story or removing a frame story, that will not work. The strength of our fiction, our literary, the works in Urdu and other languages is their appeal, their wide appeal. And if you look at the history of their publication in the original languages, whether it was Urdu or Punjabi or other languages, they were published in tens of thousands of copies.